let's start and consider the following. Like, when we know that when people make a decision, they start with the decision make logic or make logic for them. It can make good for them, which basically a brain-based decision, a heart-based decision, or a feet-based decision. So in my book, which is The Guide to Win, I speak about people as 4 different categories. There are brain-oriented, heart-oriented, feet-oriented, and gut. So the gut is exactly what Marianne was sharing, is somebody will come to her and say, I love what you do. Can I pay you now to join? How long did you spend with her?
An hour.
An hour. How long will you spend with other clients for them to sign? For sure more than 1 hour, right? So I love to have all my clients based on gut. Because if somebody here said, I want to sign up this program for me, here is my money, this is our gut. There is no sales process involved. There is no overcoming rejection. There is nothing. That's right? All what is it is what? Buy now or not forever, which is good. So you can either buy. Unfortunately, they talk about maybe 7% of people in the gut area. And I am one of these gut people. So I'm one either buy or not buy. People who make a brain-based decision, they need to understand the logic. Why they should buy your program. People who are heart, they need to feel good. They need to feel that this service is important for them. And people who are looking at the feet, they need to know the details or the process. Okay? If you combine this model with these triggers, if you combine these 2 models together, you can understand the language now. So if I am in front of somebody who is more brain, decision making, I need to show it make logic for him, and I can trigger 3 or 4 of these triggers to him. Some people will need to feel good. Majority of life coaches in particular, you need to make your clients to feel good. That's right? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to move in and I want to start to design a presentation which will include the 3 categories of what we talk about as selling from the stage or speak to sell or enrollment. And to do this presentation, I would like each one of you to make a decision about a specific product that they want to sell through the presentation. So I have here some product sheets. And if you go to if you want to go to the first page of the product sheet, and you need to articulate what are the 3 main points that your clients to buy your client or service. So what are the top 3 pain points? If you never thought about them, come up with 3 pain points. And this will be on this sheet here on this page. Yes, sir. So can you articulate 3 pain points which your clients would like to get? And can you share with me? Or
So what's the difference between the first and the second?
we are only doing the first one. So what is the first one?
see pain points, stress, anxiety, poor relationships, and lack of money.
Okay. Anybody else more want to share? Yes.
I put down stuck in a rut. They're triggered, emotionally triggered easily, and feeling depressed.
Okay.
Low self-esteem, fear, and overwhelm.
Okay. Anybody else wants to share?
I have two. I can't get the third.
What are the two?
Their own mobility issues.
Okay.
So their home has stairs in them, so that mobility. So the stress of the anxiety stress of how am I going to have this freedom of mobility in my home.
Okay.
And so it's the third one.
Maybe a lifestyle. Maybe maintains their lifestyle.
Okay.
Maybe worry about the future, what will happen.
Yeah, that's the stress.
Okay. And as I say, please use these sheets, and you can. I can give you more sheets, but just use them. Okay. If you are here, let's just do the practice. Now the question will be is, what are the three pain points for your clients to must buy your service? Do you have 1 to 3 pain points that your client will must buy your service?
What do you mean pain points?
What are the pain your service will solve?
Oh,
This is from a client's perspective.
Yes. And this is they must. There is a necessity here. If you don't have this information, work it out. Without this information, you cannot sell any kind of products. And you cannot grow. And if somebody will come and say, oh yeah, but they buy. Yeah, if they buy, you can get 2,000 more sales if you can articulate. And if you cannot articulate why your client must buy your service, it must be a good to have.
So, I still don't understand the question. So is it gonna be the resolution?
No, why they must? What are the pain points they must buy your service? They will die without it. They will lose without it.
Why they have to act.
Why they have that?
Mm-hmm.
what if the services again it doesn't relate to the necessities?
There is no service doesn't relate to the necessity people buy. Even Landmark and Landmark will sell you on Father Days the forum and the location to spend the time with your kids. So the father will not be worried about where to go. Even entertainment, they sell you on the necessity and the pain point, not on the luxury point. Necessity can come from ego. You can withdraw from the customer ego. You can withdraw that the customers are people who have ego and they want to keep their ego and prestige, which is I couldn't find out a meaning for prestige. So the pain point must be articulated. So can somebody share with us the answer for 3 pain points for your client who must buy your service?
I still don't understand the difference between the first points and the second set of points.
If you, the first point is a 3 pain points. The second point,
$10,000, you must have $10,000.
But is the pain points from the client's perspective, or from my view, as
from your client, from the client perspective.
from the client perspective? So how does exercise 1 differ from exercise 2?
Because there is an adjective called must. Why they must buy your service?
I would like to fix something, I must fix something.
You must fix it.
We all have likes and desires, but
Okay.
That's right.
difference between needs and wants.
Okay.
So can you share?
Yeah. So when you said the must, then I said, well, what kind of things forces them to now.
Now is coming as a third question.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So I upgraded mine to the first pain point is poor performance at work due to inability to relate to others. The other pain point is unable to function with a clear mind. The third one is stuck on an issue for a long time and not seeing a way out.
So, and what were the first three?
First one was stuck in a rut, triggered easily, and feeling depressed. So it forced me to go one layer deeper.
Okay. Anybody else wants to share?
Sure. So, needs would be an unresolved business issue, obstacle, or concern. Another need or pain point would be a need for successful execution if they haven't been successful. And the third one would be a need to build a culture of execution. And fourth would be business underperformance. And my three pain points for client that must buy the service is they have a definite need to have to execute to stay in business, or they need to have that issue resolved, they can't continue with that issue, or they have a need for an established executable plan to go forward. And now it's just timing. When do they need it?
So I love what you shared, guys, and I cannot share with you any insight to it because this is what you see of your business. So I would invite you to go to the third point, which is 3 pain point for your client to must buy your service or product now. What are the pain points of your clients that they must buy your service now? So this is the third question in this product sheet. If you cannot articulate why my client need to buy now, you will less likely be able to achieve anything outside what you have right now.
You need the sense of urgency.
What will make them to buy now? And I will show you how you fold this information back into what you do inside your presentation. Anyone wants to share?
I can share. I just saw one that came to me. It says, to buy my service now, you see an easy and effective alternative to your issue through my service.
Seeing easy is not a pain point.
Well, it's a benefit, right?
It's a way. Seeing, it's a process.
Right.
Okay. Even feeling. If I want my client to feel, it's a process. Joy and happiness is a relationship related. So what you said is a process. It's not a pain point. Examples for the pain point to buy now, because Christmas is coming and each one of you wants to look nice in front of their family, so they better buy from my gift shop. Now you have a quarter delivery. You are close to budget end. If you don't start now, you'll be next year the same place. So can you articulate why your customers, or what kind of pain your customers will buy it now? 3, it's an ultimate. If you can do 3, it's great. If you can do 1, it's great. But just you have to understand that customers will not buy because you only solve the pain point, because you only can, they must buy it. If they need to buy, it must be now. If you cannot formulate your business in this way, you will not be able to close sales ever in any way. You will always be surrounded by interested parties, not customers. Does this make sense?
Total.
Okay. Rob, you want to share on the now?
Well, one is it's still around the physical mobility issue, so they physically need it now.
Okay,
'Cause
great,
They simply cannot maneuver and they don't want to sell their home.
great.
And then having an issue with the sort of the second and or third one. So, and I really don't like to default to the dollar value, because that seems to be the lower value add, but better price today than tomorrow. And if that's true or not, we at least have to add that sense that you're getting a better price today than you will with us tomorrow.
Awesome.
And then the one that I have as my third is really have that lifestyle now. Why wait for tomorrow when you can start having that freedom and maintain your lifestyle now?
And this particular one, I use it all my life because I don't like surprises. So we don't like surprise parties. If we want to celebrate somebody's birthday, we let them be happier for 2-3 days because the birthday is coming. So in lifetime of somebody, he will have 2 or 3 days more happier than if it gives him a surprise party. This is the philosophy I live with. I hate surprises. I hate surprise parties. I just say, make them excited, make them happy from now. They have extra few days till the party comes. And it will come as ever. They really enjoy the party and they will keep remember it and be happy. So why you cut this period prior to the party announcement? So I like what you said. So if you say price now better than price tomorrow, it means I'm saving you money now. That's right. And how I make it, because the cheap labor, or not the cheap labor, the more cost-effective labor, because there are more labor now in the market than before, and we can run you on time and schedule. That's right. This makes sense? Okay. The fourth question, anybody else wants to share? Usually in this exercise.
Is it like creating imagery of what the future would look like? Is that
Imagery of what the future will look like will be in number 1. Okay?
And see that example, like, I wouldn't buy it based on that. Like, I can save you money now.
He can say.
I guess I don't get the now. Like, I get creating a sense of urgency, but that's okay. Keep going.
You must understand, if you want to get people to buy right now,
Yeah.
they must have a reason to buy right now. If you cannot articulate this reason to your audience,
Yeah, I get that.
you cannot. So you must figure out what are the 3 pain points where people can achieve or can solve right now.
Yeah.
What are their current pain points?
Okay.
So one good example is this, you understand about this cryptocurrency and this superficial artificial currency on the internet. So they say it rebel and double and stuff. This stuff I don't do in my life. It doesn't make sense to me, okay? Although I have a patent and a couple of publications in crypto in this area, but it doesn't make sense to me. But they say if you don't jump now, what will happen? It will become more expensive next time. So you will leave on the table much more than what you can get. That's right. So it's function of your business, function of your service. You have to figure out why people have to buy right now. If you talk about relationship, they may lose their loved ones. They may have irreparable damage to their relationship, because anybody close to divorce, if they divorce, they cannot get back. So if you talk about life coaching or relationship coaching, there are so many areas where you can say, if you don't sign up for my product right now, you will not be able to fix. And if you stay for 1 year, it will keep going and going and going, and you cannot. It's different between acute pain and the trauma. because some of my clients also in acupuncture and massage therapy and stuff like that. So if you don't treat it right now, it will become chronic pain. It cannot be solved. So usually if you have a pain and you cannot solve it in 3 to 6 months or 3 weeks or whatever it is, and you live with it, it will become chronic. Once the pain will be chronic, what will happen? You cannot, less likely, you can fix it, and if you can fix it, it will take longer time to fix, and longer time means more session, less money, and so on. The fourth part of this particular product description is 3 pain points that your client must buy now, and no one else is solving it in the market. And this comes to a principle which we talked about it before. When we talk about products and services, there are 3 categories of product and service. There are me too. Everybody in town is cooking food. That's right. There is me special, and there is me only. The easiest example of this is the Banago pizza. Sorry, is the pizza business. So Banago is a special, and the Italian pizza houses, they are special pizza. They are always in this domain. We are me special. Chicago pizza and deep Chicago pizza and all this kind of strip mall pizzas, they are in me too. What they do is they do only pizza. And Domino's Pizza, Pizza Hut are me only. And we always say Domino's Pizza is in me only because they give you pizza in 30 minutes or less. So you come for the fast pizza business. Do you get this point? Do you guys drink coffee, or you know somebody who drink coffee? That's right. Let's talk about the coffee business.
I love this.
So in the coffee business, where you position Tim Horton?
Number 6.
Like, is it me too, me special, or me only?
Neither.
It's me special.
It
Me
might
special.
be me.
Me
I
too.
think it's me too.
too.
Special.
No, Tim Horton is me special.
Right, yeah.
What do they give, man?
The Canadian brand.
Oh,
They are the
They're
Canadian brand.
They're in the U.S. or did they come out of U.S.?
They are in a very few states in the U.S.
Yeah.
I went like 2
They're
or 3
American
states.
owned, so I don't think they're that special.
Well, because they were
But-
acquired by Wendy's.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, now Burger King. But anyways. that's-
Okay. What about
They were special,
Starbucks?
but I don't believe they're special.
What about
Yeah,
Starbucks?
it's me only.
Me only. So what you get when you go to Starbucks?
Empty wallet.
Quality, climate, service, everything.
So what you get when you go to Starbucks? Do you get coffee?
Oh yeah.
But you get a lot more.
You don't get
Service.
coffee, by the way. When you go to
We get
Starbucks,
treat, we get quality, we get good environment.
you
everything.
got experience.
Experience, yeah.
You got the coffee experience.
The grande experience.
You got the coffee experience. Name Roxana as a servant. It was a name born by Starbucks. Before that, Roxana was not a very common name in North America. It's part, the way to label medium large, extra large, tall venti, grande, tall venti, it's part of the experience. That's why when you go to any of the Starbucks, you will find all the stores are very similar, and all of them they have this fireplace. It's experience. You go there for the experience. What about Dunkin' Donuts? Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah. This is a donut coffee.
it's me too. They only do coffee. For the same amount of dollars, for the same amount of service of product, which is, I believe this was the 16-ounce coffee, you pay here close to $5, you pay here close to $2, and you pay here close to $1.75. Okay, I don't like the coffee. I found it lots of bitter coffee. I don't like it, but we still like to go to Starbucks because of the experience. Second Cup and all the other chains could not get it. They could not get about the experience. That's why they struggle. They don't move forward as fast as this company. Which company which one is the youngest one in these three? This, by the way, these are three dominant companies in the
Dunkin'
coffee.
Donuts?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
these are the three largest companies. The newcomer in this business,
Starbucks.
McDonald's.
MC.
Oh,
Big M is the most recent runner in this business, and they are ranked as number 1 in Canada
For the coffee.
for the coffee. But they are me too coffee. They are not me special. They are me too coffee. Which one before McDonald's came to, like, which one is the youngest one in the business? Starbucks, 1970 some.
In North America, right?
Yep. Where is Seattle Best here? Do you know Seattle Best?
Yeah.
Mm.
So Seattle Best is me too. What will happen when you are in the Me Too? You compete on what? Price. And what will happen when you Me Only?
Service and experience.
Value. Service and experience, which is value, okay? Like, don't get offended when we just start to tweak it, but just to drive the perception. So you must be able to position your market as me only. Why? Why a personal services like business coaches, consultancy, life coaches, trainers, whatever, it's a me only.
Because it's a business based mainly on talent. And this is the only way how you can really beat your competitors.
Because it's your fingerprint, it's your DNA, is my experience around you. If you understand what me only means, you will have the ego ride, and you have to tell me now, why when I come to your business coaching, you are the only one who can provide me with this service and product. Sometimes I say we are the only Canadian. We are the patent pending. We are the only technology was patented. We are the only Calgarian. We are born Calgarian to born Calgarian. We are the
Alberta.
award winner, whatever. Award winning, whatever. What's award means? Nothing. Award means.
Well, it'll put you into the Me Special at least.
But what's
Amazing.
award means? Award means nothing. If I nominate the three of you guys and one of you receives the award, it's because within the competition of you, he was the best. But
Right,
maybe on the other side of the table, there are more achievers there. Because next year, by the way, there is somebody else getting the award, which basically better than the one of last year. So all this award winning and all of these competitions, it doesn't have any value in real business. It has value to position you.
Oh,
So just to make sure, because we have a sport athlete here and have to be sure of that. If you even are ahead of your game, if you are even the gold medal, whatever you got, next year and the year after and the next Olympiads, there are other people who will come in. They will have a different techniques, a better techniques. So if you can articulate why it's me only, you will be in the game. Maybe it's me only because I did 200 clients in the last year. People who are developing websites, they will come and say, we developed last year 500 websites. They never told us which one of these websites sold the most. Because I don't care about quantity, I care about quality. I want to know, I want to understand what's the quality of the service. We were together in this event and they talk about this incubator or shared space, and they said they are in the 9th floor. So who cares about the 9th floor? So like, who cares about the incubator is in the 9th floor? I will see a nice view. Can you tell me how many business went through and made money? They cannot. Because they were just open. But they took this as a me only. We are the only co-work space in the 9th floor with a nice view downtown. Do you like to work in that? Okay? Any questions at any point? So if you understand this concept, you should go to this product sheet and try to scramble some discussions around 3 pain points for your client to must buy your service and product, and no one else is solving it in the market. And this comes back to the accountant model. You go to the meetup, which is a good friend of us loves to go to this meetup. You see, I'm accountant after accountant after accountant after accountant. Who cares? Can you tell me what to do for me? I don't care, you are accountant. So I have an accountant which is doing great work because she's an accountant for transportation companies, truckers. And she say, I'm accountant and my main field is to do tax accounting or tax computation to truckers across of different provinces. So they make accurate evaluation of their GST and their tax breaks. But she's an accountant too, okay? So you must be able to articulate why your service and nobody else can do it. Any questions? And don't feel bad, because there are some people with me for 6 months or so, and they still, every time we present this presentation and we give these sheets again, they will come up at a better level. Because this stuff does not come on time overnight. That's right. You need to have the draft today, and I hope that you have a draft today. You go home, have a good coffee from either one of these. Oh, by the way, McDonald's is $1 any cup, any size. I don't drink coffee, but I see that.
So a question here.
Yep.
Only 3
Sunday-
drive-through.
Sorry?
Only 3 drive-through.
Oh, really? Okay. Yes, sir.
That's me only, right? It's only $1 to drive through. They're the only ones who do that for that.
Yes. And by the way, I'm very close to some of these giant marketing people, and this is how they do these hypes. Yes, sir.
Now this question has been in my mind for a few years now. It's
I can help you.
it's about only me, which is offshoot from the philosophy of having a niche. Now having a niche, it's a good marketing tool to make you stand alone from your competitor. But on the other side, if you think about it deeply, you will find that you are limiting yourself on one domain and one group of customers. So in general, and a quick answer, do you really it's better to have a niche and only me in certain things, or you can really maximize and expand yourself on a more customer base? Which better, like in general?
So let's define first what the niche means.
It's a specialized area. Like now you mentioned for
Okay.
example about this accountant, she's specialized in the tracking companies.
Okay.
This is a niche.
There is a difference between a niche
Yeah.
and I provide something people don't need. So the whole concept is people have a need. We don't sell on wants. So each one of you here, they have a need to increase the number of clients, the number of traffic, the number of audience, to expand their reach to make more money. Is this a want or a need? It's a want or need for you?
It's a need.
It's a need. To make more money in your business and to grow your business and to save yourself hours of working by producing online tools or whatever it is it a need or a want? As long as it's a want, you don't do any actions to it. As long as it's a want, you don't do any actions to it. You guys came here and you are willing to spend on Monday morning a full day for a reason. Because I don't believe you are fools, right? So there is a reason. And the reason usually is 2 things. Either I need to assess a competitor, and I had so many competitors come to me here. And I love having them because everything I do is copyrighted and trademarked, and I'm actually stopping 2 in court from recycling my material. And that's why we have this quote. If you want to use this material, let us know, and we'll give you a license to use it. Very straightforward. Or there is a need in your business right now which you need to spend with it 8 hours or 6 hours of your time in this weather outside. Do you agree on that? So when you talk about good to have or must have, it's another definition. So when you talk about a niche, I'm trying to create me only within this market. Okay? So you must figure out why it's me only. And I know somebody will come to me and say, accounting is accounting. I said, no. Accounting has never been accounting. And I touch accounting because everybody understands what accounting means. There are good accountants. There are accountants for small business owners. There are responsive accountants. There are accountants right now, which is 3 or 4 of my people I'm working with right now. They will offer you a weekly or a monthly group meeting virtually. So they will have a meeting room like this. They will run over Skype or over Zoom a session for their clients. So these clients are not coming for accounting. These clients are coming to educate themselves on the accounting rules and what they do every month, and at the end of the year they make more money out of selling basic accounting service because they provide this value add. They are the only ones in town are doing it in this way. Okay? After some time, I am the only company in town who have a mobile app. You can go Win Your Brand, and actually this is a mobile app for my book. And I do have a Win Your Brand mobile app. You can connect with us on mobile app. I'm the only one. The only coaching. And I'm the only one also have a Wild Badawi app on Google Play. And I have WizYL on Google Play and on iOS or App Store. So we are the only one. Okay? What this value to the customers? It give you immediate access, quick reach, all our material within 24 hours. We record here, so this will be gone to our video channels, and people who have the username and passwords, they can go and they review the whole session. So if you forgot something, what you will do? You will basically go through the review. And I do have so many people accessing this piece, and this provide me only. I'm the only one doing it like that. And as you see, the equipment for me is so simple. I do it, I edit it, and then it will go within 24 hours as a commitment. So if there is a difference between a niche and me only, and providing service which people don't need. Does this answer your question? Okay. So are you done with the pain points? Do you have a good understanding of your pain point? Okay. The back sheet, or the back of this sheet, it has the following. And I will not go through the whole sheet, but I want to go through the first one. The first one is I want you to articulate 4 benefits. Because remember, now what are we doing is we are designing a specific seminar or a specific presentation. Let's call it presentation for now. It can be a webinar, it can be a seminar. I will show you in the sequence where the differences are. There's about 4 or 5 differences between a seminar and the webinar. But we are looking at the introduction session for our services. So to help me out, forget about all the graphs and stuff, we'll come to it later. Can you just have the product benefits in terms of time, dollars, relationship, and process? What are benefits you have for your offer? Do you need to have the 4? Recommended. However, if you have 2 to 3 are okay.
Do we base it on the last thing we did here, 3 pain points?
Whatever you want to base it on. Whatever you want to base it on. Just articulate 1 or 2 statements beside each one of these T, dollar, relationship, and process. Okay, and this will be in the middle of the sheet. Like in the middle of the sheet here, there is something called product benefit, not features. And when you're done, can somebody share? sharing, please? Yeah, you can go ahead.
So for my dollar attribute or benefit, it's increased profitability and higher accountability. From time, it's addressing issues before they become costly problems. From functionality, it's an end-to-end transformation process. It's complete. And from the emotional, it's about employees' engagement levels, their confidence, and building a culture of achievement.
You see here, what I love about this is it talks about the relationship. So he's very specific about customers employee relationship, very specific. Okay. Just to appreciation of your sharing, I just want to say a few things. There are also a list of power words. We have about 3,000 power words. And the power words, it should be plugged with these particular values. So for example, is it efficient end-to-end process? Is effective end-to-end process? So you should be considering, and when we run here the workshops on how to come up with your marketing material, we share this particular information. So time efficient or efficiency, you should be a second layer of when I identify each one of these values. The second layer will be to craft it with power words, and then the third step to share it among a mind-like-it group, not among your neighbor, your family, because people say, oh, it's great, among people who understand and see their response. Sometimes they come to me and say, producing results in 90 days is overused, so you will sound like superficial. So I take this information and I try to work it in a different way. Okay? This makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is another layer for these benefits. Anyone? One more?
What are some of the power words for process?
Effective, efficient. I can show.
I have it. I just
Yeah. I don't remember all of them. But so anyone? One more share, or I should move ahead? Anyway, if you don't want to share, it's okay. However, you have to understand one thing.
Any power word for the time?
There are so many. For each one of them, there are actually 9 classes of power words. We shared them about 2-3 months ago. Now, any of these values is tied with two things: either benefits or disadvantage. So, for example, slow process, I will make it faster. I will save you more time to spend with your family. Any one of these will have plus and minus. So if you struggle with uncomplicated, like one of the words we use is uncomplicated, and then we had a feedback that people will not listen to the uncomplicated. That's right. So it's less complicated, or don't use complicated. Say it easy. So each one you can think about it. If you struck, you make it better, or you make it them avoid a negative side. Okay? Does it make sense? Okay. So if you understand this, let's design a presentation. So for me, I'm a Canadian Association professional speaker, professional member, and I'm Professional Speaking Association's executive director. And I got so many of this presentation where people say, can you come present? I don't like to go to present in front of anybody. I only present in the sessions which make sense, because there are a flow of steps you have to do to be able to present and engage audience. It's all about engagement. That's right. So I am one of the guys who doesn't like to just randomly go to present, because I have a sequence and I know how to master my sequence within my close groups, and then I can go and sell. But I'm not here to just to go and practice and people get photoshopped for me. So before we start, we have to ask a question. What is the very first things you will do when you stand on the stage. How you start your own presentation.
Hook, you need to hook the audience.
So how people right now start their own presentations.
There are different steps.
You give an overview of what's to be learned.
Okay. What else they do?
Ask a question.
So the last presentations you guys attended, what did you see first in when the presenter came to the presentation?
Who they are.
Introduction.
Okay.
Story.
Usually the introduction's done before the speaker.
I love it. I love it. I love it. 95% of people will stand with a title of their presentation and what they do. This is 99 or 95% to be conservative of people. Please, next time when you go and find somebody like that, say thank you and stand up and go away. Because this is what I do. Do you care about the title of the presentation? Do you care how this marketing company was great and they do great and they did for Mercedes and BMW and all you can list everybody? Do you care?
Not at that point.
Not at that point. Okay? So any presentation will start with a title, and our good friend here said, there is an MC for the event. If there is no MC, ask somebody to introduce you. So the one who will do the introduction, he will tell them the title, and he will say one or two sentences about you. So do I have to repeat them at this stage? Do you agree on that? Okay? So any presentation must start with a hook. And what are the type of hooks? One of the hook which I talked about in my own podcast called silence. When people come to the stage, they should anchor their heel in the ground and have a moment of silence. Usually when we practice them in these workshops, we ask to be like half a minute. But usually it's 5 to 10 seconds. You make eye contact to people. And this eye contact need to have different protocols. So if there is a meeting room like this, it can be eye contact to samples of people. And you can look to somebody's eyes till they looked at you. And this what we call it open-hearted channel. So your heart here will connect with their heart here. If you lose this connection, you cannot engage them anymore. So the whole idea of, even I like this venue because nobody has friends here, but our good friend, she found a friend here. I like, what's the likelihood if you find somebody you know here?
No.
It's just amazing.
And someone who I've actually trying to get in touch with for probably 6 months.
Wow, I love if you can do business with that. I love it. Like if you say this, I came here for just, I didn't learn anything from me, which is great. If you didn't learn anything from me, I just make a business here. I love it. I'm happy for you. So if you lose the connection, people will not be engaged. So usually when you start, when you walk in, you stand and make a moment of silence, made eye contact. If you are on stages like when you have first row, you can make connection with the first row. If you are even on stage when you have the lights in your eyes, you can basically look down and see whoever around. If you are in a situation which will be on page 19 where you have these different tables, you look at some of these tables and make these connections. You must look at people's eyes. Then what you have to say. And what you have to say, we call it the hook. Therefore, the things which you must not say it. Number one, we don't apologize. We don't say, sorry, I'm late. Sorry, it's the that it's too hot outside. So no apology. Don't affirm the obvious. Don't say I'm standing here between you and the lunch. It's nice weather outside. Why you guys stuck here with no windows? And I can go in details what this will do on the psychology of connections. Don't thank the hosts. Don't say, thank you, Jim, for introducing me. Oh, thank you, ATB, for getting me in here.
You can put that at the end.
There is a place to put this
Yeah.
in. There is a place to use this for credibility, for a massive credibility, but it's not at the beginning.
No.
My coach, when I was coaching this area about 7-8 years ago, he said, you have to imagine people head in front of you. They have their brain exposed and their skull open, and they are waiting for your knowledge. This is how people will look at you when you stand first in. They will be wondering, why the heck I'm here? Why this guy? What he will say? If I start and say, oh, I'm sorry to be late, or I'm sorry that it did not start on time, you are losing credibility. If you start to say, thank you for the host to get me in here, it means you lose credibility right away, because you are not here because you are the expert. You self-acknowledge you are making a favor to have you here. Full stop. When you say it's something everybody else know, people will say, what's the value of knowing you here? So these things, I take it seriously. People are not trained. They go there, they stand. And now the question will be is, how much will it cost people to train on this stuff? Almost nothing. They can go to my podcasts for free. So if a speaker does not invest in themselves to speak to sell, he does not deserve the audience to listen to. This is my philosophy. Do you agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you stop please doing this if you do it?
I don't do it.
Okay? Please stop doing it. We do it randomly. Okay? Now, coming to the first thing they should listen to you is the hook. So what are different types of hooks?